The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency is concerned about the increasing cases of measles in the country, as the agency plans to hold a nationwide measles vaccination program from the last quarter of 2017 to the first quarter of 2018. The executive director of the agency, Dr. Fizal Shuab, at a news conference in Abuja, blamed this rise on poor routine immunization coverage, especially in the northern part of Nigeria.
Despite successes we've achieved in the reduction of measles-related morbidity and mortality through various interventions, Nigeria, unfortunately, still accounts significantly for the global measles burden. The number of outbreaks has increased from 166, affecting 140 local government areas, to 183, affecting 158 local government areas in 2015 and 2016, respectively. Surveillance data shows that there was a steady increase in measles incidence among children under 5 years in the north, from 190 per million in 2014 to 527 per million in 2016. The trend in the proportion of measles cases among children under 5 years and children aged from 5 to 10 years in the north has been rising steadily since 2014.
And still on health matters, increased funding for family planning and child spacing intervention will help reduce maternal mortality in Nigeria, and that's according to the United Nations Population Fund. Figures from the United Nations shows that about 110 women die daily in Nigeria from pregnancy-related complications. The government is hoping to reverse the numbers by increasing investment in family planning.
Globally, an estimated 830 women die daily as a result of pregnancy-related complications. That's according to the United Nations Population Fund. According to the report, Nigeria contributes 10% of that statistics, with 110 women dying daily from pregnancy-related complications. Efforts to address this national health challenge is the focus of the 5th Annual Family Planning Dialogue in Abuja. The Minister of Health, traditional rulers and representatives of the United Nations are all in this hall to brainstorm on the way forward.
110 Nigerian women are dying every day due to preventable pregnancy-related to complications. About 1/3 of these preventable maternal deaths can be avoided by delaying motherhood among young girls.
You can imagine losing 110 women on a daily basis in this country. It is beyond this, our gathering. Yes, our gathering is very important, but it is something we should all invest in.
Some experts here also believe strongly that there is need to increase funding for effective grassroots mobilization.
Part of your strategies must involve synergizing and making sure there's a forum where you cascade down to local government level, where the clerics meet, understand the issue of population, of family planning.
Family planning is so beneficial. It is one of the strategies, low-cost, effective strategies for reducing maternal death and in promoting socio-economic development. And that's why, as a nation, we have decided to embrace it.
Although many have argued in support of the health benefits of family planning, the practice is currently left to individuals' conscience, as there is no legislation that makes it mandatory in Nigeria.
From health, we talk agriculture. President Muhammadu Buhari has commissioned an integrated poultry farm and animal feed mill in Jukun local government area of Kaduna State. It's the president's first public function outside the Federal Capital Territory since he returned from medical vacation in London. The $150 million facility, owned by Olam International, is expected to produce 180,000 metric tons of corn per annum, amongst other crops.
This facility is designed to produce 1.6 million day-old chicks weekly and 360,000 metric tons of animal feed annually. This is a significant milestone for Kaduna State and Nigeria in our quest to ensure food security and achieve economic diversification through agriculture.
We have witnessed over a decade an uncommon resilience and zeal by Nigerians to build an economy that puts a marker on nutrition and food security, and Olam is happy to be a catalyst in that quest. The new facility will only help reinvigorate the industry by closing the supply gap in animal feed and providing the well-needed Nigerians the well-needed nutrition as source of protein.
To politics now. With the conclusion of primary elections in Anambra State, the stage is now set for the November 18th governorship contest. Across the state, analysts have been assessing what may be the outcome of the election, as some of the candidates have emerged and by arrangement or coincidence. The three frontline political parties, that's the All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA, the People's Democratic Party PDP, and the All Progressive Congress APC, now have their candidates.
Primary elections in Anambra State have concluded with candidates emerging from each political party. The incumbent Governor Willie Obiano from Anambra North Senatorial Zone is the candidate for the All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA. All Progressive Congress has Tony Nwoye from Anambra North and Oseloka Obaze from Anambra North as candidate for the People's Democratic Party. With the emergence of these candidates and several others, members of the public have been analyzing the chances of the three candidates that come from the North Senatorial Zone.
For three brothers or four brothers to engage in a battle, well, I think something is missing along the line. Something is missing, I mean, in their place. Because if His Excellency from the North and all these other two candidates from the North too, I believe if I were them, the case should be better settled at home.
Others are also analyzing based on party, candidates, performance and zoning formula.
It looks like there is a tacit agreement among the frontline parties to zone. You know, it's not that it's documented in any of their constitutions, but yes, they have come within themselves and agreed to zone it to the north. And that's why essentially the three candidates are coming from the north across the political parties.
This year's election in Anambra State is going to really be keenly contested. Now is for a move to the south, because it just shows that while in the north is going to be a split votes, in the central is also going to be another splits in terms of all these great people that I have mentioned.
More public opinion holds sway as many believe the votes from the north will be divided, leaving the south and the central zones to determine who wins the polls. Nevertheless, November 18 will put the picture in the right perspective, as several other candidates are also in the race.
More jobs are on the way for youths in Kogi State. That's if the wealth creation program being organized by the government is anything to go by. The Director General, Research and Documentation from the Office of the State Governor, Barrister Moses Ukezi Okafor, told a crowd in Lokoja that the only way to tackle youth restiveness is by empowering them through self-reliance and wealth creation.